Hi guys, good morning. Welcome to another episode of EGEM Afambuchi Nelo Equalo. And this we're talking about my life journey. Hola! We have guests today, and that's the other than hi. I don't know. I'm here, Romiafa. She's the one holding the mic today, so Kaiba Pure. And from the last episode, everybody wanted to see my hair. I went to rant for my hairstylist for not doing it right, but she had to redo the front, and I tried to style it a bit differently. I might be sounding off today. The reason I'm sounding off is what I came here to talk about. So please, I'm pressing down this baby's hair because I need people to be seeing me, and I hope that the mic is working. I just hope I don't have to re-record this. The reason why I am not very in my usual like overly excited state is why we're here. And I want us to talk about Nso Nwanyi. That's what I think. I am sure every Igbo people community call it a woman's sacredness when she's in her period. Your period basically Nso Nwanyi. That's how we say it. And before we start, I'd like to state that this everything I'm going to say here is totally of my own understanding or my akko, the knowledge that I got from the earth, from the universe, from everything around us. This is not Uche. This is not the one that comes from above. This one came from my observation, from living on earth, from being a woman that has been seeing her period for 13 years. Okay, anyways. So what is Nso? That word Nso NSO with probably punctuations here and there, I'm not sure. But I'll tell you that I think the root word is so, and I'm not the best interpreter for Igbo. I never learned or read Igbo language like academically. Igbo I know is Igbo I speak, the Igbo I hear, the Igbo that is in me. So I beg to differ, or you might want to differ, but I think the root word there is so, and that so most times is used as respect or to say keep this. Like my mother will always, the one I know that is very, 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 what's the word now? It's always used. Solomon, so Walifa Solomon. So somebody said Walifa, like use this thing and not like abhor, but use this thing to respect me. Don't do this thing to me. Solomon son, respect me in this accord. Basically respect. And so you can also say sopolu. Sopolu is to obey or to respect, to accord respect or to give reverence to something. Then you can also hear in the church, Igbo Catholics, we sing and so and so and so. And so is in the church way is seen as holy, sacred, which is the same thing. Sacredness is what I think that's what it is in the Igbo root word. So, but why did it get to a woman? Why did it get to a woman, the portal of life, and all of a sudden it became an abomination? It became a terrible thing. It became a thing of disgust. I'll tell you why. Nuchenkemo, and what I think when the whole visitors, foreigners were infiltrating Africa and our beloved Igbo land, I think the foreign ideologies and doctrines had a problem with women. Yes, I believe so. There's so many other reasons why I think so, but let's focus on this one. We'll talk about that on another time. They have a problem with women. So when they came to Igbo land, specifically, let me talk about the one I know. Mahabiabai, they saw how much women were respected, how much we had our place as women in the society, in the community, down to our spirituality. Omenani, ordinanani. They didn't like that. It was strange to them because that's not what they were used to. So in all of the time spent, everything that happened, there was shift. There was this need, which I think was achieved. there was this push to make things about women unholy, to make things about women disgusting, to make things about women the bad things, to make things about women uncalled for, shouldn't be talked about, should be hidden, should be done away with, should be thrown away. Yes, I said that. Quote me anywhere. I'm Mwakuya. I'm not even going to try to amaram, but I'm Mwakuya. And particularly, like I said, we're talking about your period and my period, the periods of your sisters, of your wives, your girlfriends, and so on. A woman's sacredness. Take me back to the time where women in Igbo land, like I learned, in your period, or when you're in your period. My God, I want that thing to happen to me so much. Like you are giving maximum care and attention and love. TLC, tender love and care. You're taken to the women in your clan. Nduma down, they nurture you. I don't know if they, but let me assume there's like a room where they keep you like, oh baby girl, come stay here. And they're not keeping you because you have a disease or an infection or something that will be contracted by exchanging bodily fluids. Mm-mm. They're keeping you away from the stress, the need to show up to pretend that nothing is wrong. Something is wrong. You are going through a whole lot of pain, and you need to be excused. You need time off from your everyday life. You need time off to, to recuperate, to rest. So that's the deed for women. My foremothers, my ancestors, they would be taken care of. The free bled. I see. I am willing to die on this hill that I am sure that women before us free bled. And that's a beautiful thing to experience. So you're there, you're being taken care of, massages, you're given hot waters or herbs to take to reduce your pain, and you basically just nurtured for the period of days, 5, 3, 7 days, whatever how many days it is, and afterwards you're back to your everyday life. You're like, okay, please go play now, go be who you want to be, go dance, go weave, go to the farm, anything it is that you wanted to do, go do it. And that's how it happened. And I really want to believe that when the foreigners came, when the people that were not part of us, that didn't understand why we did the things we did came, first of all, they were threatened by how much power women had in Igbo land, and I think Africa at large. And of course, they were the men who did not like the men amongst us, our own brothers or our own fathers, our uncles, be them whatever. Amongst us, within us, that did not really like the attention we were getting. Like, that's getting too much. What's that? What do you mean you can't bear the pain of crumbs? So when the foreigners came, I said, "Ah, I don't think this thing you are doing makes sense. So those ones, this is your uncles and my uncles and our brothers. It's not my brother. And the ones, our four brothers, they're like, yes, tell them. Yes. Why would women get so much attention? I mean, what is then? You know, and then they found a way to make it a nasty thing. They found a way to call it a disgusting thing. They found a way to say, oh, a man should not sleep with the. Please, if you want to quote me right on this part. Now I'm going to tell you why I think this doesn't make sense. I think the only thing I've heard is that this might sound really funny because so there is a part of evil cosmology that believes, mind you, the way evil cosmology works is an observation and understanding thing. You look at things, you say, oh, this thing has been like this. If we use it this way, it works perfectly. If we use it the other way, it doesn't work perfectly. And then years and generations down the line, everybody's using it the way that it works. Then it becomes omenani, becomes ordinary. So I think the only thing I've heard so far that I've read, I'm not going to tell you that I've read so wide and far, but so far the only thing I think I've heard is that the woman's period has the ability to neutralize charm. On a maybe ogo. There's no place that was quoted whether it was good charm or bad charm. But I stand here to tell you, or rather, I sit here to tell you that I'm sure it was the bad charm called a maybe. It neutralizes juju ogu. Let's not call it juju because people's understanding of juju differs, but on a maybe ogu. That's why they will tell you, oh, do not sleep with a woman when she's on her period because it will spoil your juju. It will spoil ogu. It will neutralize it basically. So, I haven't said that. Why do you think that's the same portal of, I mean, the same source of life? Literally, a woman is the portal of life. All of a sudden, you feel like the blood that comes out of her not being pregnant at a particular time of the year or this particular month is is a waste or is a taboo or is a thing of disgust. The thing I can tell you categorically, and I'm saying quote me anywhere you want to, is yes, there's the messiness of it. And I think the reason, another reason, like I said, women free bled back in the days. So they might say, oh, there might be the restriction, oh, don't go to the stream when you're in your period. Because of course you're bleeding. You can't even walk all the way from your house to the stream because it doesn't even make sense for you to be walking and there's blood trickling down your legs. And the stream then or the rivers were source of everything. That's where people drank from. That's where people cooked from. So it makes sense to learn that oh, they're saying don't go there when you're on your period because chances they say blood could drop inside. And of course, it's not everybody that can stand the sight of blood. Some of us women cannot even cannot even stand the sight of our own blood. So, but again, we have a language problem. Do you need to now explain what this means? Not go to the stream when you're in your period because you're bleeding and you're going to drop blood in the water. English word is contaminating, right? So everybody now runs. The men that do not like these things, oh, you're contaminated. So when a woman is on a period, she's contaminated that boogie there. You're very silly. You're very. Today's not the day to curse. Let's not do that today. Let's not do that today. So, my dear, how is it that all of a sudden this same portal of life has all of a sudden in this because of she's on a period for the period of max 7 days, 3 5 days, then all of a sudden she's an object of disgust. It's not even a sad thing to say to your mother or to your sister or to your wife, your dearly beloved girlfriend, but with your friends, if Isibode Nigi, just like I'm so many of you's wonderful friend. It's not a terrible thing to think of me. That oh, because I'm on my period, I am all of a sudden a source of contamination. Hmm? Will make it sense? Mm-mm. Of course, it does not make any sense. So yeah, I think I'm covering this mic. Sorry. So what I read after God is Dibia, I think I'm not sure if it was volume 1 or 2, but there's a part of it that it describes how why the Igbo people acknowledges and holds the palm tree in high esteem. And this is not what we want to talk about, but I'm going to tell you like there's a comparison or there's a placing the woman side by side as a palm tree. The palm tree, as the Igbo people see it, is one of the trees that there is nothing out of it that goes to waste. There is nothing out of the palm tree that is a waste. Everything from the leaves to the kernels to the shaft, ichelaku to onwero. There is nothing from the palm kernel that goes to waste. That is a waste. That's the way it is for a woman. So how much more a woman that is capable of bringing human life, like the source from which you came from? How do you now think there's something about a woman that is a waste? Period is it? Period is a waste. Are you listening to yourself? Do not let people hear you because if your mothers hear these things that you're saying, they will turn Hagabia Gogo Nime, I'm telling you, your mother will come fight you. How dare you say that? So this is me standing here today to acknowledge and to reaffirm and to tell you that this thing is a plot. It came from the people who do not appreciate women enough, who do not like us, who thinks that women get so much attention in society, who feels like we wield so much power, who feel threatened by the mere existence of women, and they feel like these are the same people who probably are now telling you why you shouldn't be feminist. But I'm here to tell you that it is not a woman being on a period is not. It is an insult. It is a sacredness that you should. Let me not use the word worship, but you should take cognizance of. You should tender to. That tend to. Forgive my English. Abraham, English is my first language. How funny. Oh, yeah, bunny kwesi kwanyalu. Kwanyalu, give respect to, acknowledge, like I am in this state now. Equesi, come bearing gifts, gold and whatever you can afford. Oh no, because I'm na oh my carousel digikita. I'm not my costing Maggie now. Nah, kichidu, drinka, support so Maggie. Use this money to hold on. These days we hear people say, "Oh, get me period packs." I don't know. I'm supposed to ask you for that. Oh, use this small money to just smile. I know you're going through a lot of pain, but just something to add smile. Oh, let me give you a belly rub. For those of you that are partnered up and are married. Oh, let me boil you water. Oh, let me make you this herbal tea. Oh, let me do this. Unfortunately, we're in a society where these things are not taken cognizance of. And as a woman living in Nigeria, as a woman living in the present day world of men, well, more okay. You're expected to show up again like the other day, even when you're going through this sacred time that you actually do need time alone. You need time with women like you who go through these things, who understand how much pain, how sometimes your uterus is stretching like it wants to kill you. There is where you're unable to eat, and there is where you're craving everything in the world, all in the space of 5 days. And it happens month after month, year after year. Anyway, what I wanted us to know today and learn is if you're one of the men or one of the girls or one of the people out there that think that Igbo people have said a woman someone it means a woman's dirtiness or a woman's abomination. No, that's not what it means, my dear. The word Nso is sacredness. That is what it means for us, Igbo people. The word Nso is holy for the church people that took it. The word Nso is something you have to pay respect to, it's something you have to acknowledge, it's something you have to reverence, it's something you have to say, yeah, I give it up, salute. So yes, the one in an soya aburo nina balonga so aburo na area maybe more na ona so you can see kunambu. I understand that the sight of God can be messy to a lot of people, but that's not an excuse for you to run a rubbish. Hmm? Learn this today. Malife. Jilinka. Okwa nikuta jili ya malife. Jili ya chechuche. We actually deserve a whole lot of the attention we were getting from people who understood how things work. And as much as I would want all of that to come back, as much as I would want all of that to come back, I know we cannot have it the way we used to have it. Please do not be around me, around any other woman or girl that's on a period and have the audacity to spill rubbish. You better just shut like Michipu go ezuliga. You don't have to open your mouth. Keep short and just pretend that you understand that we're in so much pain, that we're in a state of confusion where our body is fighting us and we're fighting our body. and be kind. Be kind. Obiebele is very important. That's what. Anyways, not to overflog this. Calling numbers, I hope to come talk about a lot of things that Igbo people understood about women. But top on the list you should know is that the foreigners that came to us did not like women. They did not like what we had as Igbo women, African women. They did not like the respect we got. They didn't like the acknowledgement, the powers, the reverence that women got because it was strange to them. They didn't treat their own women like that. So, and of course, and in advocacy, could in every 12 there is a Judas. In our very communities, in our families, we have men who are angry or who do not understand why women get such respect and treatment. So, yeah, I stand here to tell you that the narrative changed when we had the foreign visitors, the foreigners, the foreign religions, and all of that. And everybody started saying, oh, you never, because I'm going to talk about this another time, but in your community, look at it. Most of the things that pertain to women's way of doing things, women's societies, women's. I'm not a younger boy because English really does not help me to explain when I want to say some things, some evil things. But most of them in our culture were made away with. But the ones for the men, they were upheld. And like that's how today now you see a perfect example is the Iwaji, the New Yam Festival. The yam is actually for the women, for the men rather. Sorry, women have their own. That's the Ede Kokoyam, but that was the made away with. And now you're even seeing most of us, some of us. I'm guilty of that too. We really want to be so much part of the New Yam Festival, but we didn't know. I didn't grow up to even know that there was even a festival thing about a particular crop that was dedicated to just women. You know. So, in the spite for women and to uphold men as the standard of how things should be done and are done. A lot of things about women were made away with. A lot of things about women were categorized evil, um, abominable, witchcraft, were seen as literally they tried to make things about women evil. So a lot of people dealt had to then, like I said again, we needed the support of our brothers to do that. Until mgbe ọzọ ka ọ dịnụ na hope na tata bụ eke tata etela anyị ọkụ na-achagbu ndị nzuzu niile na ndụ anyị ma n'akụkụ anyị ma n'ala Igbo ma n'ụwa anyị nọ ya gazie. See you some other time. Bye. Say bye, Bunny.